Aloha, ITS 148 here. This is the first video for ITS 148 in spring of 2021. And so let me just introduce myself. I'm Richard Halverson, and I see we've got a few people online here. So let me start out by sharing my screen. I'm going to share this one. Okay, so here's the syllabus. Now, I realized that I'm doing a lot of things this semester. I'm switching all my classes over to a new textbook. Plus, I'm trying out this new online scheduling system that I've set up for having all online classes. And so I don't think I'm quite finished with the syllabus here yet. But let's just go through it. So the textbook is this Zybooks. This is a new text. If you took 128 last semester, you familiar with this textbook. But if you took 128 in a previous semester, we used to use the Pearson Revel. And this textbook it's quite a bit better. I think it's quite a bit better than the Pearson book. But anyway, let's take a look at it. Zybooks. It's 148. And so what I have done is when we get these textbooks from Zybooks, we're able to configure them ourselves, and we're able to, first of all, we say, okay, well, this is all the chapters we want. And then from that, we configure them. And what I did with this course was I took a couple of books and I combined them together. And I put a lot of optional stuff here, okay? And the optional stuff up above here is what ITS 128 has now. And this optional stuff down here is more what ITS 228 would have if we were to teach ITS 228. Now, I'm not teaching ITS 228 this semester. I didn't last semester either. So I haven't finalized what an ITS 228 course would be like using Python, because I don't think we've ever done it. We haven't done it yet. But anyway, so we're going to concentrate on these chapters here that are not optional. Okay, starting with chapter 8 here, which is a review. So lists and dictionaries should be a review. It's a pretty sizable chapter, though. So if you took 148 or 128 last semester, it's all the challenge exercises and participation activities are you're familiar with all those, so you can just jam through them. But there's actually three new labs down here which I've added to this. So we'll be sure to go over those. And as with I'm going to conduct this class the same way as I conducted 128 last semester, and basically I'm just going to go through all the sections and make sure you understand what's being asked in all the places, and start a lot of them for you, and you should be able to finish it up. And so it's a real piece by piece way to learn this stuff. We aren't going to be writing a lot of single huge programs. Instead, we're going to be writing a bunch of small stuff, lots of them, and that's how we're going to sort of hone our programming skills. Okay, so let me just go back to the syllabus here. Okay, so I've just added this here. This is the when is good link, and I figured out I've decided that I'm going to need to have you keep this thing up to date, and I've changed the periods. As you can see, the periods used to be 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then 1:30, 2:30, 3:30 down here. I've had to change it because I've had to figure out my schedule better. So if you could go back, and I suggest you do this every week, because my schedule is going to change every week. So for example, for the next couple of weeks, I really am not going to have any time on Monday afternoon to have any classes. But I've added a Sunday 12:30 session, and there's more periods, so we're starting a little earlier. I may open up a Saturday. I may open up a later in the day too. And so if you have opinions about later in the day or Saturday, just send me an email and tell me what you think, because I'm trying to figure out the best times here right now. So in case you're curious about this, this is my program to figure out what my schedule is. And this is a sort of a back end to what you fill out. And so when I click on, these are all the courses I happen to be teaching this semester. I'm teaching a lot of courses this semester. These are my ITS 101 courses. And for everybody, 10 students have filled out the when is good schedule. And so what I do is I map all the students in, and I learn like from this that if I schedule 4 periods per week, then I get all 10 covered, and then so on. And this class is 148. So it looks like this. Only eight of you have answered the poll. If it really doesn't matter to you, or you really don't mind watching this this as a video later, then you don't need to even fill this out. And so this is only for people that have an urge to attend a class and be able to ask questions and sort of find out what's going on right when I say it. But really, everybody's responsible for all these videos. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep them short, keep them with a lot of information, not have a lot of dead time. But anyway, and then what I do is I can go down and click on this and schedule that time for this class. See, and so for 148 for this class, I've got 2 periods scheduled. This period, this one, and this one down here, and so the next one's going to be Thursday, 3:30, and these are my other classes here. This week, I happen to have the most ITS 128. We got to get started. You remember back the first week of ITS 128, maybe you didn't know anything. So I'm actually going to meet with them all 4 times this week. But my other class, ITS 387P, I have a couple times for that one. And then I'm also teaching the database class at Manoa. I teach the database class at Manoa. And I've got 65 students in that class. And so I actually have to go all the way up to, this thing checks up to 5 periods per week. Now, just as an aside, this program is really ITS 228 stuff. Maybe we'll get into the type of algorithm, this algorithm that I use to write this program. Maybe we'll get into it later at the end of this semester. But this is a regular, if there's 24 periods or 26 periods or whatever, and I choose, and I'm going to choose 5 of them out of the week. I enumerate all combinations, of 26, choose 5 is statistics, and then I test. I test the whole class, and I see how many fit and how many don't fit, and so I keep on doing this until I find a set of periods where everybody is covered. And then I know that if I keep to that schedule, then everyone has a chance to attend a class at least once. And so for these 5 periods a week, I'm probably going to, it may cross over 2 weeks. Okay, so it might be 2 weeks, possibly 3 weeks before everybody gets a chance. But if some people were kind of skimpy in the times they chose, and they were probably checking off their absolutely preferred times. But really, if you really do want to attend a live Zoom session like this, then, you want to try to check off as many opportunities that you'd have to do that. And, it's not required, if you can check them off, and if you don't show up that time, I don't have no way of knowing. So it doesn't even matter. But, I'm just trying to do this as a service to you. Plus, I need a schedule myself to keep, with all these classes, I need to have a schedule, somewhat of a schedule to keep me up to date, up to the week on all three of them. Okay, so in this class, as if you recall, there's participation at the textbook. Let's see, let's just go back here. If we go into, we can actually click Content Explorer here. And we can see that we start with let's say chapter 8 or whatever. This is very long, and there's not any way to say I only want these certain chapters. But as you know, there are these participation activities, and then there are these challenge activities, and then there's the actual labs, which are actually little programs. So let's go back here, and let's start with chapter 8, the beginning of chapter 8. And so if you just go through this with the participation activities, you should be able to get all the points. The only reason you don't get all the points for participation activities is because you've got attention deficit disorder or something, and you can't sit through it. But you click around enough and you get all the points. You try it, you don't get it, you click on a thing which tells you the answer, and then you type the answer in, and then you get all the points. So, and it's a real low stress way of learning this, and it's just by clicking around. This is kind of fun, all this clicking around in here in 2021. When all of this animation on the web pages is kind of cool and neat. Maybe in 15 years this will just be boring old stuff, but it's a real comfortable way of learning this stuff. Okay, so the reason I chose chapter 8 is because lists and dictionaries are really you have to get to lists and dictionaries and the manipulation of lists and dictionaries before you can really do a lot of really powerful things in Python. And lists and dictionaries, in Python they really got it down. It's real consistent across all the different built-in data types, and this notation is real compact, and you don't have to start out with a whole bunch of declarations to be able to manipulate a little list. And so I think it's a good chapter to review before we dig into the stuff that's more complex than lists, and use lists to solve programming problems. So so here's so you can go through this. Lists are a list is an object it's the most important, one of the most important types in Python, and a list is a container, which is an object that groups related objects together. So you define a list like this way. Okay, you define it, you put brackets, and then you separate the items of the list with a comma, So this my list is a list. It's got 3 elements in it. The first one is element number 0, and this is element number 1, and this is element number 2. I'm going to make this bigger. And this here demonstrates how you can define it, and the elements of the list are stored in these different memory locations inside the memory. It's identified with this name here of my list, and you can loop through them. You can loop through them by index and so on. So participation here means you click on this and you go through this stuff and you sort of pay attention to what's going on. can double the speed if you want to. You look at the next one, and you follow this going along here, and then you look at the next one, see this, what happens, and then you're done. And you get a check mark there, and then you get all the points, okay? So, you know, this is something where you can even actually kind of like, if it's, okay, so I should, now might be a good time to tell you about my policies for you know, how all of, what all these are worth. Um, all these participation. Is there a question? So all the participation activities, when you add them all up, I've looked at how many of there are and so on, and that's going to be about 35% of your grade. And so these you should be able to get all the points. Challenge activities, they're a little bit more difficult, but with all these things, you can do them as many times as you need to do them until you get all the points. And if you're really having trouble, those are good things to email me and ask me if I can do during one of these class periods, during one of these class sessions, or I'll just answer your question. Or I can even make extra videos, which I've done which I do in all my classes when enough people ask me to do something and there's not enough class periods to do it in, then I can make an extra video. Now, at the end, we're going to have these Visual Studio assignments, and so basically all that is we're going to be writing Python programs using Visual Studio. And Visual Studio is this nice integrated development environment that's got a bunch of panels and everything. It helps keep track of stuff, helps you debug, but it also has features in there where more than one, where two people can work on a program at the same time, and there's a sort of a sharing thing. And so I'd like you to start. So these last 5 assignments are going to be more about getting used to a nice environment for writing code as a team or a pair, at least. And so that's what that's about. And it also goes along with kind of the name of this course. The new name of this course is this, which is a continuation of 128, but actually this course is still being advertised as a visualstudio.net course. So that's part of the reason why I'm having you do Visual Studio, and I'm going to figure out how to get the .net part in there too, because .net is really just a family of classes that allow you to do stuff, that allow you to connect to stuff, and you know, it's similar to in Python. At the top, you can identify, you can import modules, and then you got a bunch of extra classes, and you can do stuff with them. Same thing with .NET. It's just a different set of classes, and so that'll help this course be true to the Visual Studio.net name of the old name. But anyway, so one thing I like about this this textbook is it doesn't, there aren't a bunch of default deadlines, and me personally, if this depending on how you like to learn how to program, and depending on what your schedule is, you know, if you're somebody where all you're doing is going to school and you're not working, then your schedule is a lot more like your own personal schedule, and you may like to learn by sitting down on getting up on a Sunday morning and working until Sunday night, and all you're doing is coding, and that's a very good way to learn programming. You get a lot, you learn a lot, but you just might not have the time to spend a whole. Is there a question? So I'm going to mute you, and then you can just simply unmute yourself if you want to talk. Okay. So I've muted everybody, and if you want to talk, then you just unmute yourself. All right. So Anyway, the point of everything is that I don't enforce strict deadlines. This is all auto graded. This is why I like auto grading so much, because whenever you're done, then I just download the scores, and I have another program which I convert them into La Lima scores and put it up there. So if you do something in chapter 8 and you don't get it done until Monday, April 26th, when I download the final scores that go into your grade, I will get that update to chapter 8. So you shouldn't do that. You can't learn, you can't learn a whole semester's worth of programming in a weekend, unless you have a lot of programming experience already. Some of you old timers may have programming experience in some other language, and so it's just a matter of learning the Python syntax, which if you do have experience in any other programming language, you probably have noticed how weird the Python syntax is. It's the weirdest syntax of any of the programming languages that I've ever used, but that's fine. And it does have its advantages. But you should work. You can work at your own pace. I'm going to try to keep a pace for you. So each week I'm going to be doing these chapters in order. You notice this is not a table of weeks. This is a table of, sometimes it's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks, 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. So keep that in mind. So some of these look like there's a lot to do. But it's about this percentage breakdown. Try to keep up. So, but what is nice about these Zaya books is that it really is. They have this. You learn a little, you read a little bit, you do a little activity, you read a little bit more, you do a little activity, and you can break, go, make dinner for your kids or whatever, come back, do a little bit, and it's not these, and the labs are that way too. They're good because you can sit down, and if you know what you're doing, you can finish to get the lab all get running in a half an hour, and then you're done. You can go off and you come back and you do the next lab, and it's a completely different lab. Whereas in other ways of programming, and this book also supports that method too, where you have like one big program. You don't have a bunch of little programs to do every week. You have like one big program. And the trouble with one big program is it's hard to start it and not finish it all in one sitting. If you have to stop and then come back to it, then there's a whole bunch of stuff you have to remember of what you were thinking about the last time you were working on it. And so it's another thing I like about this textbook is it's well suited to people with our schedules. I've been getting some good questions here in the chat here. W3 Schools is really good, and you're probably going to see me Googling Python syntax questions, because I get my programming languages mixed up every day. I write code in other languages. I write code in PHP and I write code in JavaScript, like every other day or so, because for all the stuff I'm doing, and then I write code in Python for my classes, and I also am starting to write some of my other stuff in Python too. The sets and lists and dictionaries are real handy in Python. And W3 Schools comes up a lot. There's some things I don't like about W3 Schools. You always have to seem to click on it and do it before you can actually see how the result of what they're trying to teach you how to do, but that's okay. And tutor.com is good also. Somebody asked about team code. Yeah, I've never been a good instructor, leader of projects where students team up and do a project, and I've never really figured out how to say the right words to the group to get them all working together. It's always like I talk about the minimum you have to do and so on. So, but I know that paired programming is good because there's all kinds of um, preconceived notions about stereotypes that get in the way when you're doing group programming in groups of more than two. So, and by stereotypes, I'm talking about the differences in diversity and inclusion and all that kind of stuff. If you, it's just a kind of an example. It's just I'm going to pull this out of my head. Um, so you have a couple of domineering guys and a female, and they're in a group, and the female's the smartest one in the group, but the guys talk the loudest, and stuff might not get done as quickly as it could because of those other kinds of things that are going on, those dynamics. But when you're just dealing with a pair, you don't, those types of issues are greatly reduced. And also, working in pairs remotely should even be even better. So let's see. Let's try to get that done. You can help me with that. All right. So it's a good idea to go through all these exercises, and if you get the wrong ones, it's okay. You're not getting any points off. Or you can just say, okay, what is this? Given the following code, what is the output of each code segment? So what is the output of this? Well, it's going to be cat, I guess. Cat. Is that right? Yes, it's correct. Now this one. Now this one's bird, but let's say I'm stupid. I say dog. Let's say raptor. Chicken. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Okay, or you can just go like this. Show me the answer. Ask you, a bird. Oh, I didn't. So anyway, you go through all these, and this is dog. See if I just click that, it says correct now. It's like I never even did any of those wrong answers. So this would be 3. What's the 3? Raptor. Okay, and then I get then I get a nice big check mark there, and I get all the points. And then later on, I go back to here, and I go to reporting, and then I am able to. This thing pops up. It goes up and tallies all the stuff that you've all done, except for probably shouldn't. Well, anyway, this may take a while the first time, but anyway, so this tells me the progress. So 10% of the people have done, or I don't know, 10% of the labs are done or something, I don't know, and 17% of the people have done the participation or whatever, and I download a report and there's numbers, and that's going to end up, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. That's going to end up going to into the grade book here. Excuse me. Into the grade book, and if you remember from last semester, I haven't filled that in yet, but it's going to reflect. It's going to reflect these points. 86 points participation, 100 points for the labs, and challenges are 43. Now, I didn't think all these points were equal. I mean, I didn't think a lab point is the same as a participation point. Maybe it is. I mean, but I don't get that feeling. So that's why I put different percentages here based on different weights. Now, of course, there's way more participation points than anything else. But anyway, and then now this class participation, I got to keep track of the time here. Class participation. Um, okay, so I've been criticized in my instructor evaluations by my peers. You know, and at a community college, instructors evaluate other instructors and they give each other suggestions. And there's a form we fill out and everything, and that makes us better instructors. By the way, at Manoa, they don't have anything like that. Okay, I teach a course at Manoa, and nobody sees my instructor evals at Manoa. My department chair does not see my instructor evals at Manoa. At KCC, my department chair does. Okay, and and I don't have any choice with that on that. But anyway, so when people say that you get a better education at Manoa, that's not true. The professors at Manoa have more education, perhaps. Maybe they wrote more journal articles. They did write more journal articles, but that doesn't mean they're better instructors at all. But anyway, in these online in computer programming classes, it's hard for me to imagine what sort of class participation activities I could actually encourage you, that I could have you do that would help you learn and not just be giving away answers to everybody, to where there's one smart guy that gives her, which actually would not be so bad. But anyway, so the first area of discussion here I think I had you do is, what do you want to learn about this class? And I've gotten 4, and I'm going to actually try to certainly read and respond to a lot of what you say. But another, but I'm going to try to put topics up here that will I don't know, help me know what sort of content I should present to you in these lectures. Okay, so I'll get to that, and then also this paired programming. There's I'm probably going to have some sort of thing with the paired programming thing too. But anyway, so let's see. It's 11:30. So we got halfway through, and I just want to say I'm going to see you again on Thursday, but and so I think Thursday I can start. Let's see. Let's take a look at. I'm not sure I had much else to cover today, so I could just start.
I had a quick question.
Sure. Yes.
Oh, if we have trouble on the challenge activities and it's pretty complex challenge, do you recommend any website where we can get help with ideas on how to go through the challenge if it's not obvious in the book, like some of the challenge activities where it gets pretty complex, like at the end of last semester?
One thing you could try is just try to ask the question, like using the title of the challenge activity in Google, and oftentimes, these books that, like this particular book has been around for a couple of semesters now, so you might just find that. I would just try to Google the question.
Okay.
W3schools.com, maybe not that great in answering questions, general questions where you have a topic before you, or a question, a problem before you, and you sort of are able to solve the answer. I think it's just better to Google. And in fact, as we go along, I'll see what happens if we Google the question to see if that helps. Can you think of one example? Was there one in chapter 8 you were in last semester? Do you recall a challenge activity in chapter 8 or anything that?
I think it was. Oh, I'm trying to think. I think it was with the lists and dictionaries, and then one of the challenge activities at the bottom, and then the final challenge activity that we had was pretty challenging. The very last challenge activity that you assigned, I can't remember the name of it. off the top of my head.
Uh-huh.
It was really, it had a lot of reversing and forward and adding different parameters and codes.
Let's see.
I'm going to open my Zybooks real quick here. I just have my screen, so I'm going to open it.
5. So I didn't include modules or exceptions. Classes was, maybe classes was the last one I. Well, anyway, while you're looking at that, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this useful in some sense. So I'm going to go back to our textbook here, and I will do, let me just do welcome. Lists and dictionaries. I haven't looked at this problem yet, but this car wash. Let's do the car wash for our problem. It's new. You haven't seen it. It's required. I've got 20 minutes left in this class to do something worthwhile. So why don't I do this when you get sort of an idea of how, how I'd like this class to proceed and how I can help you learn how to do this stuff. So in this problem, we have, let's see, did I make some notes? I think I made some notes here. All right, so write a program to calculate the total price for car wash services. A base car is $10. A dictionary with each additional service and cost has been provided. 2 additional services can be selected. So if the input is tire, shine, and wax, the output is Xy car wash. That tire shine is $2, wax is $3. The total is going to be $15. And if the input is rain repellent, it's going to be blah blah rain repellent. Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay, so this is 23. Okay, so we're supposed to write our code here, right? Okay, and we got this thing, and it asks for the 2 things. And then I'm supposed to, I'll start out by printing total. Is there a base wash? Oh, first I'm going to add base wash to the total. Base wash. Okay, so now no semicolon. Now the total is $10, and then I want to print Xycar wash. Nice. And then I want to print this. Okay, that's fine. I can just do that. Then I want to see it's nothing. If service choice is in, okay, so I have to look and see if that one is in, if service choice 1 is in services keys. All right, so here you just have to know some stuff. If you want to if you want to enumerate all of the keys in this this is a dictionary. It's a dictionary, right? It's a dictionary because we have the key and then the value, the key and then the value. If it were a list, it would not have this key thing. If it were a list, it would just be the key is the index and the value is the value is in there. But in a dictionary, we have this additional thing, and that's a key, and the key is not the index. The key is some other identifier. Okay, and so when we do services.keys, we are saying this is a list of keys, and we're gonna see if this whatever it is you typed in, is in this list of keys. It's 1142. And if it's true, then we're going to say total equals total plus services of whatever this is. So it's services, and we index it. We're indexing it, but we're actually indexing the key. So it's oh yeah, it's okay. It's that service choice 1. So if service choice is tire shine, if service choice is tire shine, then that's this one, tire shine, and services of tire shine is going to be 2. So this statement here is going to add 2 to total. So now total is going to be 12. Okay, so that takes care of that, and then we want to print this out. Let's print it out. Print, and we're going to print out what the service choice is. First, we're going to print it out, and then we're going to do this dash space $ thing, because that's what this looks like up here. This dash. Okay, so this space is taken care of. That we're using a comma here, so it's going to throw a space in there. Then we've got this dash space $, and that's this dash space $, and then that's going to be followed immediately by a number. So we can't use the comma, because if we use the comma, there'd be a space there. We don't want a space there, so we're just going to have to do a plus sign, and then we're going to put services service choice. Okay. And then we can close this parentheses. Now, and then we got to close. Yeah, so this parentheses closes this parentheses. Now, this actually, there's a problem here, because this is going to be, in this case, this. And this is not a string. This is a number. This is a number. So this is, for this plus sign here, we have a number on this side, and we have a string on this side. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. In fact, I think I can just run this right now and see how it turns out. But I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to run. I guess I can run it here. Okay, so it's in development mode. And the input, I'm going to make the input be a tire shine. And let's run and see what it does. Oh, it didn't. I have to have a second one, because it's asking for 2 of them. So I'm going to put the other one is going to be wax. Now I run it. Okay, here, see, I got an error here. The error is I cannot concatenate a string. I can only concatenate a string with a string, basically. So this is a string, and I have a plus sign. If I use the plus sign after a string, it's looking for another string. This is not a string. This is a number. See, So really what I need to do is I have to do the string conversion, str, and put a parentheses around there like that. There, so now I've converted this to a string. Seems kind of silly, but now when I run it, I get yes, I got this, and I got it added the tire shine. So I got this far. Okay, so so I've done this for choice 1. Now what you can do is you have to put do the same thing for choice 2. Put another one here for choice 2, and then at the end you're going to do this total price thing. So at the end, you know, you're going to have some kind of choice 2 thing here, whatever. I'm going to do this. Put some kind of choice 2 thing there, and then you're going to have to do something like print. Well, you're going to print the total. Something like print. And this is a new line. Total price. $, end of quote, and then you got to do this store total. Okay, so so this is not right. This is not complete, obviously, because we didn't include the wax. So you got to include the wax, but it did include, but it got the total price right and everything, and it's only got 4 dashes here. I don't know if that's gonna be if it's gonna bomb there, but anyway, what's great about these iBooks is that you can try as many times as you want. When you're ready, when you're all done and you're ready to go, you click on submit mode, and then you submit for grading. And of course, I'm not going to get all the points because I don't have everything. You see, I don't have this part in there. So I didn't even get any points like that. So what I got to do is I got to go back. What did I do? Oh, anyway, so I got to go back and fix it. So that's 8.2.3. What time is this? 11:49. So somebody had a question. Lab was 12. The code for new line. The lab was 1210 lab. Okay, let's see which one that is. You know, you'll notice I purposely didn't include chapter 12 because we've seen chapter 12 already, because I want to try to get through as much of this as we can, and we're going to be using chapter 12 a lot. But when we look at chapter 12 and we look at this one, oh yeah, this one. Did I make a video for this one?
You made a video, but there was some type of glitch that kept coming up after I wrote the code. You know, it ran pretty well, but at the end it said need extra new line. So I added new line in print, but then it wouldn't accept that. So there was some sort of issue with running a new line after the code, and it says the code is continuing. Something strange happened. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but there was something with the new line. Even if you print the new line or add the new line, it wouldn't accept it.
Let's see. I had 2020 fall 2020 chapter 12 labs. Did I? Ooh. Oh yeah, wow.
I didn't mean to be off topic for this class. I just, it's a question I had about adding new line after this type of code.
Yeah. Okay, if you happen to have your code, you can send it to me and I can take a look at it. I do have a solution here, but man, it's got a lot there. There's a lot of so I do have a solution for that. All right. Well, yeah. So in general, if you have some issue like that where you just can't get something to work, and it's keeping you from getting all the points, something like that, you can just send it to me and I'll just figure out what it is. And it's something where it's usually something where the thing is not, you have written your code according to the specification that it gave you, but when it's checking for something not how you did it, and it's still, your code still fits the specification. And so there I can just tell you what the little tweak is. And for yeah, for this one, we had a bunch of, which you were saying. Let's see, let me, I wonder if I can just paste this in here. Code here. So this is what the code looks like. So we're seeing a lot of things like this. So that could be what messes you up. This is writing out to the output. This is writing to the file, and not to the output. Anyway, let's see what this does. I'm going to develop mode, and I'm going to say, oh, I just say file1.txt, I guess. Is this supposed to produce output?
Yes, and I've tried many ways.
Okay, well, when you click on when I can click on solution here, and basically what this is just what, I don't see any prints. This just writes to a file. Okay, so it's okay. So we still have a couple minutes. So here's what I'm going to do for this one. I'm going to download this, and I'm going to put this on my. I'll put this on my desktop, my messy desktop. So now let me try to find it. And what's inside here? Let me unzip it. Oh man, I'm over here, okay. So this is the file. I don't know why there's two of them now, but. All right, so I've got a file here, and let me go here. And I'm gonna go, can I like go copy, CD, paste. Okay, now I'm inside here, and I can make another file inside here. I'm gonna open this up, see what it looks like. Looks like this. And I'm gonna go to here, and I'm gonna take this solution here. Where's the solution? Here's the solution. Copy. I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna paste it and save it as lab.py. Okay, so I've got this lab.py now. dir, and there's lab.py right there. So what happens if I run it? Py lab.py, and it asks me for a file, file1.txt, and it runs. And what happens now? Let's go back to here. Oh, look, there's another. Ooh, there's 2 files. Let's see what this one is. This one is that. Those are the keys. So this is the output keys. Ah, there's 2 of them there. And then this is the titles one. And that looks like this. So this is the titles one, and this is the keys one. So probably what happened was you weren't you didn't set it up so you could know if your program was working correctly, and that's probably my fault. I should have done this and given you that important hint. But anyway, so it isn't gonna output anything. So what does that mean? So I mean, you know,
If there's no output, how do you get the points?
well, okay. Well, I got all the points.
I added print, that's why.
Oh, oh, yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. All right. Wow. Okay. Look at that. It tested a lot of different files. All right. Well, anyway, so it's 11:58, and I hope this was meaningful for you. I will post this video. Well, where's the schedule? I will post this video up. I got to teach another class, and then later this noontime, I'll post this up, or maybe earlier this afternoon. I will see you again on Thursday, 3:30, if you can show up. Otherwise, you don't have to. There'll be another video at that time. But right now, if you could go back to this, and I put a link to it right here. Go back to this, go back here. This is the link, to this, which gets you to this, and check off as many days as you can. So next week I can create another schedule, and especially if you want to see this live, it's your opportunity to do so.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. See you next time.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Would it be possible to get your videos from the other sections in a resource in this class too? Like, for instance, on files, because in last class I didn't complete that chapter, but that seems like a really useful thing to be able to do, to have your code run and then like output like a text file or something.
Okay, good. So good point. In fact, why don't I have a review of chapter 12 and go through that? But yes, you can always, I put all my videos on YouTube, and they're all, they're all like public domain. So if you just search, I bet if you search, search for my name, I guess, and then my YouTube channel looks like this. So all my videos, you can search for ITS148. I don't put a space there. My email is richhalverson@gmail.com is my public email. So yes, you should be able to find. In fact, the folks that are taking 128 this semester are gonna have there's a lot of stuff there for them. So, but yeah, and then if you have any other questions and you want me to, especially something like that, where if I do make another video like that, that would be useful in both classes. That would certainly worth my time.
All right. Yeah. I think I found your channel. Thank you very much.
Okay. All All right, well, I'm gonna sign off here, and I will see you Thursday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.